right, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel, guys. It is time for an awesome video. This is going to be an overview of an epic knife from Divo Knives. This is the Fireball, the first design from Stassa23, and it's a home run, the Divo Fireball. Really, really cool, guys, and you're going to see in a minute, this blade is epic, and we'll talk about why. So these are dropping on the 17th of October 2024. You're probably seeing this video drop on that morning and because it just got here. So that's why I'm calling this an overview. I haven't got a lot of time with it, but I've had enough. I've carried it today. I've had enough to feel like I'm giving you guys a good read on this beautiful knife. Now we have electric blue camo carbon, and we have this titanium back strap, they're calling it. So instead of a back spacer, what you have here is a milled back strap, and the clip attaches to the back strap, and you can see it's not drilled for the clip on the other side. This is a right-handed back strap, and you can buy a version. Okay, you'll need to look. There'll be 3 versions that are the right-handed back strap, and there'll be 3 versions that are a left-handed back strap. And we're going with, they have the electric blue, the black pearl camo carbon, and the 80s camo carbon. And guys, this one with this beautiful electric blue is absolutely my favorite. And then you have a black wash S90V blade. These are done by Kubi, and as typical with Divo, there's S90V down here, but there's nothing on the blade. There's no markings. There's no anything, but really cool. You do have a titanium milled clip with 2 screws in that back strap, okay? And you do end up with quite a bit sticking out of your pocket, but I had this in the pocket today, and it was fine for me. Good clip. Good retention, goes in and out of the pocket well, no issues with that. Black hardware on this one, and really nicely done. It is on bearings, of course. Your only deployment is a hole, which is good for flicking, both with your thumb and your middle finger. Very cool, plenty of room to get in there. Very cool. Now we do have chamfering around the edges here, of course. And by the way, really cool looking clip too. Kind of pinches in here a little bit. And they do have a special pivot here that Colin from Divo came up with. I think that's pretty cool. It's definitely something different. It's tooled only on the one side. Kind of a really unique pivot there. I like that. We are dead centered, and the blade does come way out to the end there. When we are locked up, we're locked up. Oh boy, I'm going to call that like 35 or 40. No lock rock, no blade play. Kubi is nailing those kinds of details. Every microjet of my knife that came in, dead centered, locked up like a bank vault. Kubi is killing it. Now, these are dropping again on the 17th, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only at Divo, and you can use my code KNIVESFAST10 for 10% off. Please remember that code. It helps the channel and it helps you because you get 10% off. If you're going to buy one, use that code. It'll get you 10% off, and that will be cool. Now, guys, I am most excited about the cutting prowess of this thing. It is a deep hollow ground blade. You can see when we turn it like this, that edge is very thin. Not very thin stock. We'll talk about that in a minute. I mean, it's not thick. You do have a swedge up here, which is really cool as well. Plenty of room for that pill-shaped hole. But this is a deep hollow grind. Very deep, and I am super impressed. Now, guys, here's the thing. Stassa23, more than any other reviewer out here, is always constantly doing cut testing in his videos. And so who would know better what kind of geometry a knife should have to cut well than Stassa? And he nailed it. This design is great. You have plenty of room to bring that hollow grind up here and still have flats up here. Very, very nice. And you get a super thin edge, and you can see, I mean, we're just going to mow through this cord. like it's not even here. Just no issues whatsoever. Great cord knife. They call it a modified sheep's foot. I think it could also be called a Warncliffe, but I know we all argue about this. I mean, shoot, you could probably call it a reverse Tanto or whatever. Just call it a modified blade, okay? But no, it's definitely a sheep's foot. But there's some of the properties of a Warncliffe as far as cutting. Very nice. Now, we do have a 4-finger grip backed up like this. And you have jimping way out to here. And now I can choke up on this flat, and you can see very nice for those push cuts. Very nice. If you got to do something reverse, it'll work really well. And then a ton of lock bar access. Now, we don't really have a healthy chamfer on this one. It is a chamfer, but it is not like a deep chamfer, but it works. If you were to fidget with this for a long period of time, I think eventually that corner would definitely, you would feel that, but it's not a big deal for me in any way, shape, or form. Lots of lock bar access like you had on the Tall Boy, and the detent is, of course, dialed. Very, very nicely done. Just a totally well-made knife by Kubi, well designed by the guys at Divo. Okay, so let's talk through the specs, and then we will do some comparisons here for you. So again, these drop on the 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Code KnivesFast10 gets you 10% off. You have the Black Pearl version, and the Black Pearl version has a belt satin blade. The 80s camo carbon has also a belt satin blade, I believe. Yep. And then this one, of course, has the black wash blade. And they all have black hardware and a black back strap. Okay. As far as specs, it is a 3.15 inch blade length, 7.25 inches overall, with a 0.48 inch handle thickness, which feels great, fills your hand up really well, okay? 3.8 ounces, 60 to 62 on the CPM S90V, camo carbon handle material, stainless steel liners. So you do have, is it full liners on both sides, Casey? Yes, it is. So you have full liners on both sides that are milled for weight reduction, which is how you're getting to 3.8 ounces. And 5 millimeter 1/16 ceramic bearings, all T8 construction. Very, very, very nicely done. And again, don't forget that code, KnivesFast10, gets you 10% off at Divo Knives. I will have that link down below. Let's look at some comparisons. Now, I don't have a Tall Boy anymore because I sold it. But here is probably the most popular Divo model and very much my favorite Divo model. And you can see the Stout V2 is a little bit longer than the Fireball. I think this is going to be closer to the length of the Lush. Yep, very similar to the length of the Lush, and probably it's going to be a little bit shorter, yep, than the Mash. But you can see they prefer a certain blade shape, okay? So there, Divo Knives, there is no guessing what style of blade shapes these guys like. We'll put a couple more out here. Here is your nip. Now, that's more of a Warncliffe. And here is, well, do I have enough room? Here is your premium pony stout. So there's kind of a Divo family picture without a Tall Boy, because I'm a goober and I don't have a Buzz either. But that is kind of your family picture as far as size comparison. So hopefully, if you have one of those models, that will be helpful for you. Now, people keep asking me, is this your favorite Divo, the Fireball? And the answer is no. I mean, it still remains wow, Casey, the Stout V2 still remains my favorite. And, I would put the Tall Boy right there with it as well. So it would be hard to kind of break those down, but those are my three favorite: the Tall Boy, the Stout V2, and now the Fireball. Very, very nicely done. So what do you guys think of the Divo Fireball. Pretty sweet knife. And again, these will probably go pretty quick. So I would say don't wait around. If you want one of these, drop things in the floor. No, don't do that. If you want one of these, definitely get in line right at 1 o'clock on Thursday, the 15th, and be ready, logged in with that code, ready to go. I will have the link down below. So, guys, there you go. Let me know what you think down below with a comment. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. Thanks to Kevin, Lefty EDC, for sending this guy along for me to check out. And great job by Stassa. I mean, the guy knows cutting. The guy, I do not know another reviewer that knows cutting performance better than Nick over at Stassa23. So, fantastic knife from that perspective. So, guys, thank you very much for all your support and for watching the Knives Fast channel.